and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be diving into a full face of drugstore makeup. A lot of you guys have requested to see like my day-to-day, everyday makeup routine, if you were to say. Anytime I hop on Instagram wearing just like my everyday makeup look, I always get a ton of questions, and I also had a bunch of new drugstore products that I wanted to try, so I thought why not combine the two and make a drugstore video out of it. So that is what we are going to be doing today. If I sound weird or look weird, it is because I've been sick the past couple of days, hence why I all these breakouts all over my face, and if I sound a little congested, so I apologize for that. But yeah, I'm super excited to dive into this full face of drugstore makeup, so if you'd like to see, then just keep on watching. So I feel like over the past couple of years, drugstore makeup has been like a huge hit. I feel like it's not what it used to be at all. Like I feel like a couple of years ago when you used to think drugstore makeup, you'd be like, ew, no, like I'm not gonna buy that cheap stuff. But actually, drugstore brands have been killing it, and some of my absolute like holy grail favorite products are from the drugstore. So I'm really excited to do this video. I have some old products that are my favorites and then some new products that I want to try. So let's get into it. I am super excited. So the only thing drugstore that I don't own is actually a primer. I know e.l.f. has a couple of good ones. There's been a bunch that I've been wanting to try but haven't picked up yet, so we are not going to prime today. Instead, we are going to go straight into our face, and I'm going to test out the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. I've heard a lot of good things about this foundation, however, I've never tried it until today, so we are going to open up this bad boy. Okay, first I'm gonna moisturize my lips really quick using my handy dandy Aquaphor, a great drugstore chapstick. So my lips have been so chapped from being sick. I have like so many different scabs and like dead skin. I'm just gonna pop a little bit of that on there and let that sit. All right, so we're gonna jump in with this foundation. This says it is a medium to full coverage, lightweight, oil-free formula, long wear, water resistant, and sweat proof. Okay, cool. So we are going to try this out. I got the shade Creamy Nude in this, so let's see if that's a good match. I like that it has a pump on it. Okay, so it's kind of like a thicker consistency, if you can see that. So it's probably going to be very full coverage. Ooh, that's like really thick. Okay. Oh yeah, she is full coverage. I actually really like the consistency though. It's almost got like kind of like a moussey kind of texture to it. Like I feel like that's the way it looks when it applies to the skin. It doesn't really have a scent to it. A slight one. I don't know. Kind of doesn't really smell like much. It's not anything bad. Ooh, that looks really, really pretty, and the color is actually really nice. I mean, it already just one layer went ahead and hid all the redness I have around my nose as well as my pimples, so I'm liking this so far. Okay, so one layer of this foundation, and it looks so good. I would say it's got like a satin to matte finish depending on your skin type, but it settled on the skin really, really well, and I'm not wearing any primer, so I mean, I don't feel like I have to go in with an additional layer anywhere, so that is awesome. I think I found a new favorite drugstore product. All right, Milani. Okay, next we are going to conceal. I'm going to be using my favorites. Y'all already know this, the e.l.f. concealers. These are the 16-hour camo concealers. These are my favorite concealers, and they are so inexpensive. e.l.f. has been killing it lately. I need to like go and get the entire e.l.f. line because they are seriously awesome. So I'm going to conceal with these. The shades that I use right now are medium peach and medium sand when I'm a little bit darker. So I'll probably mix these two today since I have a fresh tan on. The concealer is blending out super nicely with this. My skin looks pretty freaking flawless, to be honest. And I'm just also going to prime my eyelids with the concealer. Okay, face is looking pretty dang flawless, if I do say so myself. So we are going to set everything in place with powder before we get all creasy. And y'all already see this one coming. I'm going to be using my Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade Fair. I love this powder. It is so good. I'm also going to quickly set my eyelids with the same powder. Okay, and then I'm going to set the rest of my face using the shade Light. Okay, wow, my face looks super flawless. I'm really, really happy with the way this foundation looks. Really didn't settle into my fine lines all that much. I mean, if you guys have watched any of my other foundation reviews, you know I always get some little creasing in my fine lines, but nothing a little Botox can't fix down the road. Looks really, really good everywhere else. Like my skin looks totally flawless. It looks really good. Okay, so we're going to move on to bronzer. I'm going to be using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. If you haven't tried this out, you must be living under a rock because this bronzer is so good. And it smells like paradise. Alright, I'm going to contour it a little bit using my NYX Contour Kit. And I'm going to mix these two shades right here. And just contour just a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to bake a little bit using the same loose powder. I'm going to use the shade Light for under my bronzer cheek area, and then I'm going to use the shade Fair along my nose. Okay, while this sits, I'm going to pull you guys in a little bit closer, and we are going to do brows and eyes really quickly. Okay, perfect. Hopefully you can see a little bit better. Okay, so for brow products, I have some new ones. I have 3 brow products. These are products that I keep in my kit for when I do makeup on my clients. So I've never actually used them on myself, but I love using them on my clients. So I'm going to test them out on myself today. The first one that I have is the Makeup Revolution. This is the brow pomade, and this is in the shade medium brown. And then I also have the ColourPop Brow Boss pencil in the shade brunette, as long as their brow gel. So I think I'm going to start off with the pomade because you guys know that I normally use my ABH Dip Brow. Hardcore lover of that product, if I could talk today. And I know I normally don't do my brows on camera, but since this is a new product, I thought I would go ahead and show you how I do my brows. So I first just spoolie them up. Oh no, my favorite brush is falling apart. No. And then I will just grab a little bit of the pomade, and then I'll start on the under part of my brow. And the brush that I always use, by the way, this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. See, it literally is sold. It doesn't have any writing on it. This is the eyebrow brush. Hands down, best eyebrow brush. So I'll just start by filling in the tail and kind of slowly working towards the top of the brow. I feel like I used to do my brows super structured, and I've kind of toned away from that a little bit. I try to keep them more natural and just following my natural shape. I try not to do too much to the top of my brow. So I'll just really lightly, once there's barely any product on my brush, we'll just kind of slowly outline the top. And then I'll go in with my spoolie and just kind of spoolie everything out and then bring it to the front of my brow to redistribute some of that product. Boom. And then have it dip back into any more product. I just kind of go in and flick upwards very lightly and spoolie out. And that is basically it for my brows, you guys. I do want to go in with the ColourPop pencil really quick just to see what it's like because I've never actually used this before. Wow, this is actually really bomb. It's really creamy. Ooh, and I like how small the spoolie is. That's a good ass brow if I do say so myself. All right, I'm going to quickly speed through the other one. Okay, perfect. Brows are done. I actually really enjoyed both of those products. I would definitely use those again. Like honestly, the consistency is very similar to the Anastasia Dip Brow, so I would definitely go check it out. All right, now I'm going to gel my brows down using the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel. So a little skeptical about this because it's white. So let's hope it dries down clear. Oh, please dry down clear. This is interesting. It's kind of got like more of a waxy texture than it does like a clear brow texture, if that makes sense. Like if you've ever used a clear brow gel, like you know that consistency, that like liquidy texture consistency. I'm just gonna go back through with my spoolie and kind of blend everything. Not sure if I'm the biggest fan of that. I don't hate it, but we'll see if it keeps my brows in place. It kind of did change like the texture of my brows, if that makes sense. Like I can kind of see like the waxiness chilling on my brows, but it's very smooth. It kind of reminds me of like coconut oil. Yes, that's the best way I would put it. Kind of is like coconut oil. And before we finish the rest of the face, we're gonna move on to the eyes. So I always get a bunch of DMs from you guys when I'm wearing like my go-to super easy, like I wouldn't even call it a makeup look. It's literally like, I need to get my ass out the door. I need to look decent. I'm gonna do something really, really quick. It's literally 2 eyeshadows. It's so easy. So I'm gonna show you how to do that today. Okay, and for this, you can really use whatever you want. A lot of the time I use bronzer or contour kit or literally whatever I have on my hands. You just need 2 colors. You need a medium brown and a dark brown depending on your skin tone, so whatever works for you. I just have on handy my Jaclyn Hill palette, which is also affordable because we all know it's from Morphe. So I'm going to be using this today. And I'm going to use one brush. That is it. Just one brush. It is, I told you guys, this is seriously so easy. So the first shade that I'm going to go in with is this shade right here. And I'm just going to take that on my brush and start on the outer crease. And honestly, I do this so sloppy. I just pack this on the outer crease basically and blend it in. I essentially end up putting this like all over my eyeball, so like I said, you can do this really messy, it doesn't matter. And this brush is the JH34. I'm just blending this. I focus it on my outer crease first, and then once I've run out of product, I bring it in. Okay, so that is it for eyeshadow number 1. Then I'm just going to go into a little bit of a darker brown. I'm going to use this shade right here. Sorry, I don't have any of the shade names for this palette, so, but if you have this palette, you can follow along. So I just take a little bit of that, and again, do the same thing, kind of pat it on the outer corner, and then slowly blend it in. This shade I'll only use a little bit of because I just want a little bit of depth. So then what I normally do, sometimes I'll leave it like this, is go in with a white or a bone color or something lighter just on the inner third of my eye. So I'm going to jump back into my NYX contour kit actually and take the second lightest shade. I'm going to take that on a little packing brush. And I'm just gonna pat this right on that inner third, just to brighten it up a little bit. And then for the lower lash line, all I do is mix those 2 shades and run those along my lash line. And that is literally it for the eyeshadow. It is so simple. Honestly, it's super sloppy, but it doesn't matter. It's just like something to put on your eyes, and I just feel like it makes you look more put together. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some mascara. I'm gonna give my lashes a good curl. Okay, so if I'm not doing false lashes, my favorite mascara to use is the Benefit Roller Lash. It gives me length, it gives me volume, it makes my stubby little eyelashes look so good, but that's not Drugstore. So, some of my favorites are, I'll just grab them really quickly for you. I really like the Maybelline Colossal Big Shot is a really good one. The L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black is great, as well as the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. So I'm gonna use the Lash Paradise today. We are going to coat our eyelashes. Okay, so that is basically all it for the eyes. Normally I don't do false eyelashes because I'm just hanging around my house, but today I have a few errands and things I want to do, and plus I just feel like being a little extra and glam. So I'm gonna pop on some fake eyelashes. I'm gonna use the Eylure and Vegas Nay eyelashes. They look like this. What style are these? This is in the style, do they have a style? Luxe Collection Bronze Beauty. That's all I got. These guys. I love these. These are super pretty. You can pick them up at Ulta. Alrighty, lashes are on, and now let's move on to the rest of the face. Let's wipe away this bake that's been sitting here for quite some time now. My skin looks really, really, really good. I also want to note that I haven't sprayed my face at all with setting spray, which I normally do a couple of times throughout my makeup routine. So I am really pleased with how it's looking right now. Alright, for blush today, I'm going to be using the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso, one of my favorites. Okay, and then for glow today, I'm going to use another ColourPop product. This is the Super Shock Cheek Shadow in the shade Flexitarian. I absolutely love this. It is super blinding, and actually, One of my favorite ways to apply it is with either my finger or a beauty sponge. So that is what I'm gonna do. Woo! It is super blinding. Then I'll also just take a tiny bit of this on my pinky and dab this right on my inner corner. Alrighty, now I'm going to spray my face using a little bit of setting spray, the Morphe one, of course. And then last but not least, the lips are gonna go for nude and glossy. What is new here? I'm gonna be using all ColourPop products actually. So I'm gonna first start off with lining my lips with the liner in the shade BFF. Then I'm going to use one of their satin lips in the shade Magic Wand, and then a gloss in shade Fairy Floss. Alrighty guys, and that is it for this full face using only affordable and drugstore makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, this is my everyday go-to 5 minutes out the door makeup look, so I hope you enjoyed that as well. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one. Mwah! Bye!